everyone, welcome back to part 2 of my top brush series. Today we're going to chat about my top eye brushes. This is without a doubt my favorite category of brushes. I think that a great eye brush can totally transform the shape of your eyes. If you missed my first installment where I talk about my top face, lip and brow brushes, I'll link you guys somewhere here. As always, all of the stockists and the corresponding reviews will be in the description box down below, so definitely check that out. Shall we start with some crease brushes? I have here the Hakuhodo J5523, and this is the closest thing to a MAC 217 that Hakuhodo manufactures. I would absolutely recommend this one if you're new to Hakuhodo because the shape feels very familiar. It is not a dead-on dupe for the 217. It is a little bit smaller and a little more tapered, but it does have that pinched ferrule that gives it an oval footprint, much like the 217. I mentioned this one instead of the MAC 217 today because the quality and the softness and the craftsmanship is just so many miles above the MAC 217, and that's why I prefer it. The Hakuhodo J142, it's a similar size to the previous J5523, but it is more of a conventional rounded crease brush, so it doesn't have a pinched ferrule. Of course, it's super soft, it's dense enough to apply color, and it also works as a great blending brush. I should probably invest in a few more of these because I think I use this brush for pretty much every eye look. Hakuhodo J146. This is a very slim crease brush with a strong taper. I think that this one is ideal for those of us who have heavy eyelids or puffy eyelids. It really allows you to fake a deeper socket by etching a dark shadow through the socket and in the outer crease. Goes without saying, this is a very soft brush. I think I'll just stop mentioning that because it will get repetitive. I have very delicate skin, so all my brushes are like baby bunnies. Now this is a new one that I've recently fallen in love with. It's the Goss No. 5. And as you can see, it's similar to the Hakuhodo J146, but it is a little bit smaller and it's a little less flexible. I absolutely love this one for carving out a really defined socket. The Hakuhodo G5522. This is a largish tapered crease brush. Now it took me a while to warm up to this one. It's very flexible and it has a lot of give. It doesn't apply much product. So it turns out this is my must-have for bright eyeshadow looks. It allows you to build and blend color very gradually. Essentially, in my mind, it stops my bright eyeshadow from looking garish or choppy or perhaps even tacky. I would highly recommend this brush if you're into bolder, more colorful looks. This is another absolutely beautiful brush. It is the SUQQU. I think this is the largest eye brush in my collection. It's very fluffy and again, it doesn't deposit much product. I think because it's so large, some people are a little bit confused on how to use this one. My favorite way to use it is to take a bit of flesh-colored eyeshadow and using this brush just dust it underneath the brow bone. I find that that gives me a perfectly diffused blended crease color. I also think it's fantastic for precise contouring underneath the cheekbone because it has that little taper there. I also love it for precise powdering around the crevice of the nose. So incredibly soft. Last crease brush, this is the Tom Ford 13 Blender. This is absolutely ideal if you like graphic eyeshadow placements because the brush is so dense, you can really pull out color and create some awesome winged shapes. Mine is a little bit stained because I absolutely love this for cream eyeshadow, really buffing out cream eyeshadow. Again, so dense. Now, I will step on a few toes with my next comment, but must be said, this is not a particularly soft brush. It's not half as soft as the Hakuhodos that I've mentioned, but I still keep it around because it's just so functional. Let's move on to some lid brushes. The MAC 239 is still my favorite flat eyeshadow brush. I have tried many variants, but I still think that this one is best for really packing eyeshadow all over the lid. Now the runner-up for lid brushes is the Bloom Eyeshadow 1. And this is actually an Australian brand. Woo, Australia. Perfect for foiling pigments to get that really glossy, reflective look. People always ask me, what should I buy when I come to Australia? And normally I say nothing. There you go. Buy a Bloom Eyeshadow 1 brush. Now this is an interesting shape, I think. It's the SUQQU M. It looks like a pencil brush on first glance, but it's bigger than a pencil brush and it has a very domed top. I think that this one is perfect for buffing out the edges of cream shadow or even blending in pencil liner. It's also great for deepening the outer corner of the eye. My favorite brush for the lower lash line, gosh, I've had this brush for so long, I don't even know if they make it anymore. It's the Makeup Store Smudge Brush 112. It's very flat and slim with a strong taper, so you can really push shadow into the lower lash line. It's also very soft, so you can move the brush back and forth over the lash line and it won't irritate even the most sensitive of eyes. Now I know that Makeup Store isn't available to everyone, so I do believe, and don't quote me on this, that NARS makes a very similar brush called the number 45. Another really unique brush within my collection is the Hakuhodo J521D1. You probably can't even see this, but it is the tiniest flat push brush that I have ever seen. Take a bit of gel liner on this brush and it's perfect for tight lining the upper lash line. I also love it for thin, precise winged liner. Lots and lots of precision. I was so pleased to find that Wayne Goss had a similar brush in his collection. It's the number 8. I do think that the Wayne Goss has a little bit more give than the Hakuhodo, but honestly, I'd be hard pressed to tell these two apart. If you have one, you don't need the other. And that concludes my little brush series. Did you guys enjoy this? If you did, maybe every now and again I can do a top new brushes video, because let's be real, I am always buying brushes. At any given moment, I have brushes coming in the mail. The YouTuber of the week is Sara Victor. She is so hilarious and an absolute natural in front of the camera. I genuinely want to be her friend. In particular, she has a Scarlett Johansson makeup tutorial. I think that I have watched it about 50 times. It's sort of veering into what might be creepy territory. She has been a little quiet recently, so go to her channel, give her some love, leave a comment, tell her that I sent you, and hopefully we can petition to bring her back. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will speak to you very soon. Bye bye.